Come on, AJ! Hey guys, assalamu alaikum and welcome back to another video. What a performance by AJ today. What a victory against Jermaine Franklin, and a massive match for him, for his career and the trajectory of where he goes from now. Obviously, bouncing back now from his most recent loss against Alexander Usyk. He lost 2 in a row to Usyk. He lost his world titles and couldn't win them back, unfortunately. But today, he put on a brilliant performance against Jermaine Franklin, who isn't a pushover. I watched this fight against Dillian Whyte, and personally, I thought that Franklin won that fight against Dillian Whyte. But obviously that's in the past now and we move forward. But today, AJ put on a real good performance. I was very impressed by him today. He did the basics very, very well. I was impressed by his jab on the early rounds, and then he was trying to work on it with the backhand. He didn't throw many left hooks and uppercuts until later rounds. Obviously a few attempted uppercuts earlier on. But very early on, he was looking to just establish himself with that jab and then try to throw backhands behind it at times as well. But it was brilliant. He was catching some really nice jabs and then some backhands. I think there was one in, the second round where it really started. He caught Jermaine once in the second round, I think it was, with the backhand, and it was a beautiful shot. In my opinion, I think AJ won every single round. I had it 120 up for AJ. I think he won every round. I don't think Jermaine was bad. Jermaine impressed me with his chin today. Jermaine Franklin really impressed me with his chin, especially later on. He took some real damage and managed to stay. He's never been stopped in a fight before. I think that's, well, I don't know how many fights that is for him, but I think that was his 25th and only his second loss, or 22nd and only his second loss. I think that was AJ's 25th fight, 23rd win. He's had 22 by knockout, I want to say. I'm not actually sure. You might have to, or maybe 21 from knockout, something like that. You're gonna have to double check. Don't hold me to that. But I thought, yeah, his basics were really good today. You know, just the jab and the backhand, and he was. You know, when Franklin came into the clinch, I think there were times where he threw some brilliant uppercuts and some brilliant hooks as well, which really caught Franklin, especially from round 9, 10, 11, 12. I think round 10 was my favourite round of the night. I think they were exchanging a lot, and I think AJ got some real good shots in there. I was surprised that Jermaine Franklin was standing after some of the shots he took, because I know a lot of people would have went down after taking those shots. I definitely know I would have went down after facing one of AJ's shots. But he put in an impressive performance. Again, a lot of people said he needed the knockout, but I think what he needed a comfortable victory, or he needed to really show that he has got it in him. And I think he did show the hunger in him, throwing some of those combinations in the later rounds. He showed that he wanted it. He looked up for it. He looked calm as well. He looked composed at times, but then there were times where he looked like vicious, where he wants it, where he wants to put everything in and drop Franklin. Overall, I was impressed by his performance, and I think that was one of the better performances in his most recent fights. Obviously, he has lost, I think, before today, he lost 3 of his last 5 fights, but I think it was Pulev, the last person he knocked out. But again, boxing isn't all about knockouts. Sometimes it's about being able to pick up wins by just boxing, and I think AJ showed that today. We see like people like Usyk, who don't have immense power. They're not like the most powerful punchers in the world, but they're just smart, really smart boxers, and that's how they win fights. Usyk, again, I think at the moment, for me, Usyk is well, I think I'd have Usyk ahead of Fury right now. I think I prefer Usyk as well. 'Cause I did prefer Fury during a little period, but I just prefer Usyk. Obviously, Anthony Joshua, he's been my favourite fighter for years now. I grew up watching Anthony Joshua's fights. He was the one that really got me in love with boxing. The way he'd just go in there raw, just get knockouts, one after the other, just go in bam, bam, and just sweep guys out with his shots, with his hooks, his left hooks, his right hooks. And I just think he was like, obviously, when you start watching boxing, you don't want to watch technical boxers. You're not going to find entertainment in that. But as a little kid, I saw AJ boxing. My dad introduced me to him, and I watched AJ, and then I just loved him. Ever since then, maybe 2015, I started watching AJ. Maybe before that. But around then, I was very young at the time. He really got me into watching live boxing. Before then, I'd obviously hear the great stories about Muhammad Ali, who is, in my opinion, the greatest, and then Mike Tyson, all of the legends. You did stories about them, but because you weren't there in their time, you couldn't really appreciate boxing as much. But watching AJ really made me truly become a fan of this sport. And I think he doesn't get enough credit sometimes. I think a lot of times he is really, really overhated. People like throwing shade on Anthony Joshua, especially after the loss to Ruiz. Ever since then, people have sort of like, wanted to make him look like he's much, much worse than he is. Obviously, he might not be the greatest boxer, but he is a talent, and I think he is, for me, my favourite ever fighter that I've watched during my lifetime. But yeah, I was really impressed by his performance today overall. I just thought his jab was brilliant early rounds, and then he was obviously following it up in the later rounds with some more, with the more wild shots, the bent arm shots. I think he was throwing a lot later on in the fight, but it doesn't matter how you get the job done sometimes. It's just about getting the job done. But it was a very convincing victory, which was important. I'm not going to say it wasn't important for him to have a convincing victory. It was. And I think he did that today. I don't think anyone could have watched that fight and said Franklin won that fight. Respect to Franklin for getting in the ring. Obviously, he's changed his life with the last two fights against Dillian Whyte and AJ. Obviously, he was working a full-time job, and then now, look at him, two fights, and he's going to be on the scene. I think Jermaine has got. I think he could have some big fights coming up for him. I hope he does. I'd love to see more of him. Obviously, the two biggest. I think he won against Dillian Whyte. I said that earlier on in the video. So I do think he's a decent prospect, to be fair. I don't know about if he could be world champion, but I do think he could be a decent fighter in the heavyweight division. Obviously, the heavyweight division now is looking decent. You've got obviously Usyk, you've got Fury, you've got AJ, you've got Wilder, Joe Joyce. There's some good fighters there. I really do want to see AJ fight Fury or Wilder this year. I'd love to see that. Obviously, we've wanted AJ Wilder years ago. Fury decided to come in and take the title from, Wilder, and then obviously AJ lost to Ruiz but won it back, but then lost a little while later to Usyk. Now Usyk and Fury hold the belts. How it's changed. I think in 2017 it was the fight we were waiting for. Not even before that, for years we've wanted the AJ Wilder fight. We never got it. Hopefully now we do get it soon. I think there's a huge possibility AJ's going to fight Fury, and that will be a massive fight, one of the biggest fights in British boxing history. But sorry about that. Anyway, we can't talk, but we can't really talk about that for now. Today is just about AJ and how good he performed. Yeah, tonight is all just about Anthony Joshua, him getting back into the groove of things. I think he looks sharp, and hopefully he will continue to rise from here. Maybe fight for another world title. Only time will tell, though. But for today, a brilliant performance from my boy AJ, and I was thrilled with the result. I was very happy with the way he was boxing today. And a brilliant, brilliant win for him. Really happy. I'm gassed tonight, and I can go to sleep in peace knowing that AJ's won, and for at least now, the critics will be silent. Please like, share, subscribe, comment down below what you... Oh God, my voice, wait, give me a moment. Yeah, so sorry about that, guys. But comment down below your thoughts on this fight. Comment down below what fights you want to see AJ take next, and even Franklin. And let me know what other fights you want to see in the heavyweight division or any division. Obviously, Tank Garcia on April 22nd. That's a massive fight. I can't wait for that one. But yeah, guys, please let me know your thoughts on this fight in the comments down below. Let me know what other videos you want to see. Please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, goodbye. Come on, AJ!